So, good morning to all of you. Normally, it's always a good evening from my side, but today at RNTalks platform, we are coming in front of you in the morning. So, a very, very, very good morning. I hope your day goes as you had planned and you get success in everything. So, today on our platform, our next RSVKA awardee is uh, Usha Vardhan Sharma. She is a mentor, she's an author, she's an administrator, as well as a motivational speaker. So, without wasting any time, I would like to invite Usha ji on our platform and talk about her journey with her. So, welcome
Uh,
Usha ji. Good morning to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, before I start this talk show, I must thank you, Ranjeeta, for giving us such a commendable platform to vent out our feelings, to introduce ourselves, and to communicate with a larger group. And for this, the credit goes to you and
Thank
to
you so
this
much, ma'am.
beautiful
Thank you.
platform, which is talenting so many talents and the ladies who come on this platform. So
Thank
it is a commendable thought of yours, which has bloomed into a beautiful tree today.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I still think that I have got a long way to go and मैं जहाँ होना चाहती हूँ उस लेवल पे नहीं हूँ बट स्टिल ठीक है आई एटलीस्ट आई नो आई एम वर्किंग इन द राइट डायरेक्शन सो कोशिशें लगी हुई हैं इफ एंड इवन इफ माई लिटिल जो कहते हैं ना थोड़ी सी भी मेहनत इफ रंग लाती है if I'm able to put a little bit of happiness and a little bit of smile into somebody's face, I feel happy. It makes me happy ki, okay, at least nobody's unhappy due to me. That is a very big thing. It I sleep easy knowing that nobody's unhappy because of me.
And
So
you put the right foot forward in
thank
your
you, ma'am.
long journey. And see, so many people are being benefited out of it.
So yeah,
You can pat your back, Ranjita, from my side.
I'll do that and I'll hug myself also from your side. Thank you.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah. So, ma'am, when we are talking about you, excuse me, I told my audiences that you have been a mentor and you have been an administrator also, and you have worked in so many prestigious schools. So, can you, you had faced a lot of challenges in coming from a Marwadi background because, I personally don't. Pata nahi, because maybe because I am an army officer's wife, was an am a retired army officer's wife. तो मुझे इतना खास लगा नहीं maybe I don't know maybe because we are traveling but when you live some place for a long time then I guess थोड़ा सा ये चीजें play में आती है so being coming from a Marwari background I believe you had to face a lot of challenges in St. Thomas School so can you enlighten us a little about that किस तरीके के challenges so that anybody else also who faces these challenges can take a cue from or you to from you और वो फिर अपने आप को उसी तरीके से polish कर ले otherwise some people can just buckle under challenges.
Yeah, definitely. I will. I come from a Marwari family where not even Hindi was spoken at home. We used to speak only in Marwari language, that is the Jodhpuri language. So my all buas, they used to go to Arya Kanya school, and they used to be very happy while going also and while coming back also. But when I went to that school, that was dominated by Christians, and there were only two types of nuns, either they were South Indian or they were foreigners. Now, both the accent I could not understand. When I was admitted in class one, I used to feel as if like a Alice in Wonderland. I could not communicate with them because I did not know English. I was not very comfortable with it. At home, there was what do you call, no proper even Hindi was spoken, and I cried till fourth class that my school should be changed from St. Thomas to Arya Kanya School. I want to be happy like my buas and other ones. So my father was very determined. He says, no, you will stay here. If you don't understand their language, slowly and gradually you will understand. The first word that I started speaking in class one, that was I know. Because I used to hear from everyone, I know, I know. And that was it. And then suddenly I found that people are laughing at me because that's the only word that I speak. And only after class fourth, I was familiar over there and I was little comfortable in that class. I started understanding their accent. I started understanding what the ambience is. And then when I used to go home and tell them, they used to laugh at me because these things are never done in school. For example, in seventh class, we were taught about sex education. So I went home and I discussed with my mother. She says, I will speak to your father. What are they teaching you? Eh? And she said, and my father says, no, she will still study in school. And he was very determined. Then we went to a Jamburi, that guides and scouts camp. So there I found that things are very good because people used to, we were exposed to that multicultural society, and I thoroughly enjoyed. It was a 15-day trip. But when we came back, we two of us went from St. Thomas School. One is Suhas Patwardhan and one is me. Suhas English was very good. She was very fluent with English. And she was supposed to read the report in the assembly that what did you do in Jamburi in Bombay. And I was only supposed to assist her on the stage. I don't know what happened out that day, that her bus met with some accident or something and she did not come. I was there with the prayer choir, and then I was standing on the stage waiting for Suhas to come, but she did not come. And the principal said, okay, her bus is late, so she will give the report. And you you can well imagine my plight, not prepared anything and all. And I was so scared that if I make this thing mistake in tenses or something, what will I do? And I stood the mic and I was still praying if somehow she'll call me from back, Usha, have come, okay, I'll take the charge. But she did not come, and I had to give that report for every day report, what was done. And I was trying to recall. I did make some mistakes and all those things. And when I finished, I turned back, I saw Suhas standing over there, and she was clapping for me, well done. My teachers, they said, this is the first time we have seen you on the stage. And I was thrilled to bits. Then she pointed out my mistakes also, that these were the things that you had done wrong in tenses and all. The right connector should have been this. I said, but she said, never mind. That was your first maiden attempt. And you deserve a applause for it. I felt good. And after that, I started taking part, which used to be a phobia for me, now turned out to be a pleasure for me. So sometimes when you're thrown to circumstances, your inner talent or that thing just blooms up. And you are also not aware of it. Imagine if on that day Suhas would have come, okay,
You would
then
have never ever had the confidence to speak
and
publicly
to
and
fight
on
with
the mic alone, maybe.
yeah, that and to fight with your phobia. And now when I, what do you call, on this thing, my students' oratory skills, I always tell them about that incident. All that you have to fear is the fear itself.
Very true. Issa,
Yeah.
ma'am, I remembered something when you said, "Na, I was just thrown onto the stage." It was like I was in, I think, class 3 or class 4. And my dad used to take us for swimming every day to DSY Dholaka. एंड आई डिडंट नो स्विमिंग, सो हम लोग क्या करते थे, लर्नर्स के जगह जैसे वो कोने में दीवार पकड़ के ना स्प्लैश टप 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 पैर से फ्लोट करने की कोशिश करते थे.
हाँ,
देन आई हैड बीन एट इट फॉर अबाउट से गुड 1 week और सो, एंड माय डैड न्यू दैट डूबेगी नहीं. सो थोड़ा थोड़ा उन्होंने बोला पीछे होके बेटा स्विम कर लो, तो मैं थोड़ी दूर तक जाती, 5 steps और फिर छपक 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 करके आगे आ जाती. ही सेड ऐसे तो चलेगा नहीं. सो ही स्पोक टू द इंस्ट्रक्टर हु इज देयर इन द पूल, एंड बाहर लेकर आए एंड टुक मी टू द डीप
हाँ,
एंड पे ले गए, वे इट वाज अबाउट 16 feet डीप. एंड देन पापा सेड चलो कूदो. आई सेड मैं नहीं कूदने वाली. मम्मा के 4 फीट में तो मैं चल ही रही हूँ, तो मेरे को 16 फीट में कूदने को बोल रहे हो. मैं कहते पापा आज लगता है आपकी सरक गई है, मैं नहीं जाने वाली. देन
हाँ,
व्हाट द इंस्ट्रक्टर, वन इंस्ट्रक्टर वाज आउटसाइड एंड वन इनसाइड. व्हाट द इंस्ट्रक्टर डिड वाज, जब मेरे पापा के बोलने से भी मैं नहीं गई, ही जस्ट पिक मी अप लाइक दिस मैम, लिटरली लाइक, आप बोलो ये एक बच्चा खड़ा है, ठीक है, उसने मुझे ऐसे पकड़ा, गर्दन से ऐसे पकड़ा और ऐसे थॉट से पानी के अंदर फेंका. And he just threw me in the water. I said, and he said, जाओ. And I was like, मेरे को फेंक दिया पानी में. And landed with a splash. I hurt my stomach. इतनी जोर की लगी मेरे को पेट में. पहले तो मैं चिल्ला के देने, पहले तो मैं नीचे गई. Then I heard a voice in my ear. जो दूसरा इंस्ट्रक्टर था, he was like, हाथ पैर चलाओ, हाथ पैर चलाओ. So आंख बंद करके हाथ पैर मारते मारते, suddenly I realized, oh, I had crossed the pool. That is, ऐसे पकड़ के लटक रही थी और ऐसे आंख पोछी थी ना, मुझे ओ माय गॉड मैं वहां से यहाँ आ गई. जैसे आपका हुआ ना ओ माय गॉड मैं सारा बोल गई. उससे तो मेरे को लगा ओ माय गॉड आई क्रॉस द पूल, मींस इट, मेरे को उस टाइम तक वो लग रहा था ऐसे वास्ट ओशन, हाउ कैन आई एवर डू दैट. एंड आई डिड इट बिकॉज आई वाज थ्रोन इनटू इट. somebody believed in me and somebody threw me in because they knew ये अपने आप कभी नहीं जाएगी. So
हाँ,
I got thrown in and I cleared it. And that day until today, whenever I go for a swim, I never stand at the shallow end. Now I can't just bear the shallow end because the water pressure is so high. I don't enjoy it. So I
हाँ,
stay on the pool side and deep end, and मैं वहीं करती हूँ. I complete my 20 lengths and everything, and I'm happy. So I same thing I teach my children कि नहीं जाओगे तो फेंक दूंगी, एंड दे आर लाइक ओके, फेंकने से अच्छा चुपचाप चले ही जाते हैं. सो आपका जो इंसिडेंट है, इससे मेरे को जस्ट टुक मी बैक दोज डेज, जैसे आपने बोला ना, नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट but got
हाँ,
thrown into the situation, and what came out was a more confident you.
yeah,
So this just like memories. So ma'am,
yeah,
यहाँ पे तो then obviously I'm sure after that there was no stopping back for you,
हाँ,
and you were ready to take on all the challenges because जहाँ पे कोई बच्चा अनप्रिपेयर्ड इतना कुछ बोल जाता है, तो वो प्रिपरेशन करने के बाद कितना ही अच्छा बोलता होगा, दैट आई एज अ मेंटर कैन इमेजिन.
yeah.
So, other than that, did you do any other public speaking challenges in school, like debates, and did you also go ahead and participate in these kind of things?
Uh,
Extracurricular.
Extracurricular activities, I started taking part in it in college.
Okay.
In college, when like who encourages you? Your peer group only. Okay, they mar you or they make you. Uh,
Yes.
so sometimes they discourage you, sometimes they encourage you. And when I was thrown to that thing, and I started enjoying public speaking, started doing comparing and other things out here. So once I started enjoying, there was no looking back. And when I went after that college in the third year, almost I got married. When I got married, I came to know that now I have my matrimonial responsibilities also. Getting married in a place like Alwar, which is very conservative and full of traditional cultures. I had to adjust, adapt myself to it. But after giving birth to three daughters, I came to know that I must do something in life. I cannot go on like this. Now, my all three daughters are going to school. So I got an offer from what do you call my daughter's class teacher. She was also army officer. She came to my place and says, "There's a what do you call teacher who's going on maternity leave, and can you come for 3 months, join our school, and then you can leave." I said, "Okay," but I say I don't know how to teach. He says, "You will learn." And slowly and gradually, 3 months, then extension of 3 more months, and extension of 3 more months, and extension of 3 more months in a year. Okay. And finally, I got this thing that we are trying to make you permanent. Then I told them, I'm not a B.Ed. Mr. Ramesh Mathur was there in Alvar Public School. So he told me, uh, doesn't matter, you can register yourself and I'll give you proper grade also. Okay, but I need proper registration that you are doing B.Ed. I went to Annamalai and from there I did my B.Ed and I showed him. And can you imagine how cooperative that school was? That they used to give me 1 hour before because I was teaching class one. So they used to give me 1 hour before and 1 hour after the children left for my studies. I said, sir, I cannot do B.Ed with three children. He says, don't underestimate yourself. You can do it. And he used to give me that time. And during that time, I used to study. This is, you will not be put on substitution because your children will come 1 hour late when the school begins. We used to go with senior schools,
Yeah.
but our children used to come 1 hour late. So he says that time you can utilize it. I did my B.Ed and I went, you know, with pride in Mr. Mathur's room, and he said, well done. He says, why don't you do M.Ed now? I said, sir, in M.Ed there's economics and maths. This is, never mind, there are many teachers in our school who can
True.
guide you. And again, I said, this is of 2 years, sir. He says, doesn't matter. Like the 1 year passed, even 2 years would pass. And like I couldn't say no to him. I got myself registered. And there also, means B.Ed also and M.Ed also, I passed with distinction marks. And this time I was little wise. I didn't go to sir. I gave my what do you call mark sheet to the receptionist. I said, this time if I go, he'll ask me to do PhD. So as I sent it, then he called me. He says, no, this is enough. I said, sir, with I don't know how I've studied maths and what do you call economics. It was very tough for me. I can't study both. Then he said, it doesn't matter. But I said, sir, all my education, everything after marriage is just because of it. He is no more in the world. He just passed recently, 2, 3 months back. But I owe a lot to him. So these are things you get, what do you call angels moving around in the form of humans only.
True.
Otherwise, imagine in Alva with three daughters, with plus work, would you ever think of enhancing your career? No.
No.
It's always people, they come in the form of angels. God doesn't descend, He sends people like this.
Very true. He's made some angels. He sends them to help out people he thinks who really need help. That is what. That is how God works.
And
It's
today's
just that.
angel is you.
Yes.
Today's angel is you.
मैम आप डायरी भी लिखते हैं if I am not wrong, and
Yes.
since you are into writing, and diary has been your best friend for a very long time.
You
So
can well imagine. हाँ,
uh, मैंने भी एक बार कोशिश की थी when I was young to write a diary, and then I was not very consistent with it. We were taught diary writing in school, but then I could only learn and but not follow it up. And then we as teachers also taught children how to do diary writing, right? But here is one person sitting in front of me, that is you, who is ever in diary writer. So can you tell me something? Because it's a dying art, actually. Nobody writes, maybe 10 out of 100% write a diary. Otherwise, people don't write. So, what are the benefits of diary writing? क्या है diary writing? क्यों करनी चाहिए?
I got married in 1981 from Chandigarh, landing straight away to Alwar in that remote area, that old city area. Okay, and there I could not find a friend or something. So there was a little frustration, come depression, that was like I had enjoyed a beautiful life and suddenly landed up over there. So I said, K, instead of calling every day, that time STD also used to be very expensive. So we couldn't call every day. Parents we couldn't call every day. So that was my alternative. I said, where to make friend? So I made diary my friend. I named it also. And whatever I wanted, whatever my feelings were, I used to write down in my diary. I used to be extra careful with my diary. My jewels could be lost, my valuables could be lost, but my diary nobody could approach. I used to be that strict. And then slowly and gradually, I realized that paper has got more patience than people. I can talk to my diary, even if I used to write 4 pages, it never used to say anything. That blank paper used to come like opportunity. And I used to feel that I'm not writing, but I'm embroidering whatever has happened today, on that day. So I fell in love with the writing. And that is, I kept changing. I've got so many diaries out here, but I feel that this one, I don't have to be pretentious. I don't have to show a good side of, I show the exact side, and the diary is the one that accepts me. And this is how I fell in romance with creative writing. I
So,
never knew that. Uh,
how many diaries have you written till now, ma'am?
Plenty, plenty.
Yeah,
Uh,
because अगर आप regularly diary लिखते हैं, तो I guess there'll be a trunk full of them, maybe more.
Maybe more, because during, like, when my daughters, they got married, that time I used to write after 15 days or something. Uh, Only when I was alone. Okay, at that time only my diary helped. So I say the best companion of my life is my diary, that never judges me. It's not judgmental. It just, and then I also evaluate myself. Look, I was so stupid during that time, but now I've matured enough. Now I can guide my children. I can tell them that these things, just remember 3 things, 3 words. This too shall pass.
True.
This, this too shall pass. Nothing remains permanent in this temporary world, whether it is a good time or bad time. I said, whenever you are in a dire position, or you feel that the world has come to an end, just read these words, this too shall pass, and it will give you courage. And none of them are writing diaries, because they were so fed up of my habit of every time buried in my diary, that they says, we have patience also. But I feel that even if I, like today's incident, if I share it with my diary will, with open arms, it accepts me. I have personified my diary. I treat it like a human being, because
And
you,
second thing, I think, ma'am, when we write into the diary, we express all our feelings, negative, positive, everything. So black and
it
white
is,
में जब हम अपनी feelings को डाल देते हैं, it is as a person, as a third person. Now when we read our diary, we are able to evaluate our actions and others' action in a much simpler way and with more practical approach. we actually can understand कि यहाँ मेरी गलती थी या यहाँ उसकी गलती थी, because डायरी ने एक आईने के जैसे मेरे को लगता है वापस हमको देती है, एंड बिल्कुल प्लेन ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट, देर इज नो कोई पक्षपात नहीं होता, और हमको इट हेल्प्स यू इंट्रोस्पेक्ट, आई थिंक
Interesting.
सो, it helps you introspect and come to a firm decision what you want to do, because everything is out there. What was here and here is now there. So
Hmm.
with eyes you can really read it again and reevaluate it by plain thinking what you actually want to do. So today's scenario, when the youth is so jittery and
Mhm.
they just can't stay in one place, I think the youth today should start writing diary. Maybe then they will understand the repercussions of their actions, and they might either repent, or they might refrain from doing anything negative, or maybe they might just not harm anybody or even themselves for that matter.
If you have time, can I read a
Yeah.
small poem of mine? It
Sure,
is
sure, ma'am.
uh,
बिल्कुल पढ़िए, because
it
I
is from
wanted
this
you to
book.
read something, because you are an author also. You write books. You are into creative writing, and so why not? Why not? It's like I always say, खाने के बाद मीठा बहुत जरूरी है. So we are already in the last 4 minutes. So please share a few of your poems, and I'll really love to hear them.
Okay. The title is I Too Need My Own Podium. I also have grudges, complaints, and grief buried in my bosom, converted into toxins, worthy enough to be thrown in dustbin. But if wishes were horses, the beggars would ride. Never had the courage to vent as there was no one to guide. Sometimes I was shy, sometimes I would hide, sometimes I was discouraged, sometimes scorned, sometimes I was mocked, sometimes jeered, but in all situations, I longed for my loved ones. I wanted care and support of my dear ones with smile, warmth, and thumbs up. In times of crisis, I needed a podium to narrate my side of the story without pandemonium. But there were social critics, family critics, and professional critics to dampen my spirit. I too need my podium and my own stage to verbalize my emotion and express my rage. I was always considered a soft target in my in any state and had no other option than to tolerate. I also want to lighten my chest, put an end to this turmoil, and be at rest. And for this, I need my podium and my own stage. Thank you.
Beautiful, ma'am. I think at certain point of time we all need our own podium and our own stage. And जब कोई नहीं देता है तो the best alternative is to create one yourself.
Create one for yourself. And that is through diary. Diary
Yes.
where you get your own podium and your own stage.
याद है मैम, जब हम बच्चे थे और हमको स्टेज के ऊपर नहीं आने दिया जाता था, बिकॉज हम इतने अच्छे नहीं थे, बिकॉज आई वॉज ऑलवेज अ मीडियोकर स्टूडेंट. ओके, आई वॉज ऑलवेज दोज जो 21st या 22nd रैंक पे आता था, एंड बट ऑब्वियसली जो फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड आते थे, वही स्टेज पे स्पीकर्स होते थे, वही स्टेज पे जाते थे डांस परफॉर्मेंसेस में या एनुअल डे में, उन्हीं को लीड रोल्स मिलते थे. हम लोग तो वो होते थे जो पीछे से फूल फेंकते. ठीक है. सो द ट्रूथ ऐसा ही होता है, और आज भी है, ऐसा ही होता है, कुछ ऐसे ही सच सिनेरियो आज भी है. हमारे टाइम पे बहुत ज्यादा था, आजकल कम है। आजकल टीचर्स आर मोर इंक्लूसिव, दे
Yes.
सर्च, दे आर एक्चुअली सर्चिंग, बच्चों के लिए जिसका जो अच्छा है उसको लेकर आओ। पर हमारे टाइम पे तो अच्छा रैंक देख लिया, फर्स्ट सेकंड, अरे ये बच्चे तो पढ़ाई में भी इतना अच्छा, ठीक है इसको लीड रोल दो। तुम 21वीं रैंक हो, ठीक है तुम थाली लेके फूल फेंकने वाले काम करो, या पीछे ला 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 करके कोरस गाओ। तो हम लोग वो भेड़ बकरी होते थे। सो मजा मैम कब आता था, वॉज जब वो लीड प्लेयर्स अपने डायलॉग्स याद नहीं होते थे उनको, और उनको हम पीछे से,
Prompt करते थे.
एंड टीच अभी भी आई जस्ट दैट टाइम यूज, आई वांटेड टू टेल माय टीचर्स कि मैम उसको तो डायलॉग भी याद नहीं है, हमको
And you
डायलॉग
selected
याद है,
it
हम ही
over
को
me.
एटलीस्ट डायलॉग बोलने के लिए ले लो, मुंह वो हिला लेगा, या
Uh,
देख के तो देखो, उसको तो डायलॉग याद नहीं है, हम एक्टिंग भी कर रहे हैं, डायलॉग भी बोल रहे हैं, हमें सब याद है। गिव अस अ चांस, बट वी वर नेवर गिवन अ चांस बिकॉज वी वर मीडियोकर स्टूडेंट्स, मीडियोकर्स, और पीछे वाले वर नेवर वर्थ इवन कंसिडरिंग। आई एम टॉकिंग
backbenchers.
अबाउट, हाँ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 1980s, ये ट्रेंड तब था। और तब टीचर अगर धड़ाक धड़ाक दो चार मारता भी था तो घर में आके पेरेंट्स तीन और मारते थे कि भैया मार खा के क्यों आए हो। वो
Uh,
टाइम ही अलग था। कॉर्पोरल पनिशमेंट हमारे टाइम पे बहुत होती थी और हम बहुत मार भी खाते थे। आजकल का जमाना बिल्कुल अलग है। सो उस टाइम पे जब हमको चांस नहीं मिलता था ना मैम, तो जैसे आपने बोला ना, आई वॉन्ट माई ओन माइक, आई वॉन्ट माई ओन पोडियम, आई वॉन्ट माई ओन स्टेज, तो मैं क्या करती थी, घर में आके कोना अपना बनाने थे, मैं खुद ही हीरोइन बन जाती थी, मैं खुद ही पूरी एक्टिंग करती थी। सो कि ठीक है तुमने मुझे उधर नहीं दिया तो क्या हुआ, हमने इधर अपना क्रिएट कर लिया।
अपना
सो
create कर.
दैट मे बी, चाहे जबरदस्ती सही, I was my own queen in that moment, and I was
Very true.
everything for myself, and I was so happy with myself. चाहे छोटी सी ही सही, बचकानी सी ही सही, बट खुशी बड़ी मिलती थी। So is I think the same as what your diary does for you, like
Right.
get the negative out, set the positive in, and there we go.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
always tell my children, always in the morning, first thing that you do is, which I did not do, that is, wear your invisible crown and walk like a queen. Okay, if you are going to think you are nothing inferior, people are going to treat you like that because that expression comes on your face. And if you are going to think you can rule the world, people will let you rule the world. So it
very
is
true.
whatever starts from you, within you.
Very true, very true. And I would always add one thing to this: never get allow people to use you for their ends, as well as have confidence to be what you are, whichever way you are.
Yeah.
That will give you the impetus to move forward without trying to be anybody else. किसी को
Yes.
copy मत करिए,
You
and
yourself are superior.
be yourself, and just be yourself to the last 100%. Give your 100% and be yourself. आप जैसे हैं वैसे ही बहुत अच्छे, and that is what Usha ma'am has also proved, that she is the best version of what she was.
Yeah.
धक्का लगा के
And
स्कूल
always
पे चढ़
try.
गए, धक्का लगा के बोल दिया, कोई बात नहीं, गलती हुई, सीखी, और आज यहाँ पे है। that you are a mentor, author, you are a writer, you are an administrator, आप इतना सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, and you are also my Karamveera awardee now.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
so
thanks
happy.
a lot. Thanks a lot for it.
अरे मैम ऐसा थैंक्स का कुछ नहीं है, इट्स लाइक आप करमवीरा हैं तो हमने तो करमवीरास को ही ढूंढ रहे थे अवार्ड करने के लिए, बिकॉज इन माय स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द अवार्ड इवेंट आई टोल्ड दैट कुछ है कर्म भोगी, जो कर्म करते हैं और उसको भोगते हैं, माने दे डू ट्राई टू डू गुड फॉर अदर्स, वो कर्म कर रहे हैं, बट इट्स ऑल विद सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट। एक है करमवीरा जैसे आप है, जैसे जोधा लगे हुई है, मैं भी हूं, चले जा रहे हैं भैया, हमको एक लड़ाई लड़नी है चाहे वो एजुकेशन देने की है, चाहे वो बच्चों को स्ट्रांग बनाने की है, चाहे वो खुद को स्ट्रांग बनाने की है, चाहे सोसाइटी में हेल्प करने की है, टू like pull up destitute people, give free lectures, give free education. हम कर्मवीरा है। और एक कर्म योगी हैं जो अपने इंजीनियर जसवंत सिंह गिल थे, जिन्होंने कोल माइन में कूदने से पहले किसी के बारे में नहीं
Salute to
सोचा,
him.
के बारे में नहीं सोचा, एंड ही जस्ट जंप्ड इनटू इट। ही जस्ट न्यू वन थिंग कि मैंने इन 65 लोगों की जान बचानी है, चाहे कुछ मर्जी हो जाए। सो आप और मैं दोनों ही कर्मवीरा है, बस फर्क यह है एक कर्मवीरा दूसरे कर्मवीरा को एक्नॉलेज कर रहे हैं।
Hi. Thank you
That is all.
so much, Ranjeeta.
Thank you
Thank
so much, ma'am, for being over here. And it's indeed made my day. And I hope your day goes as beautiful as this day is going for me.
It was my pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And
Thank
you
you.
take your leave here. And yes, for all those जो मैम की पोएम सुन के हटे, create your own space, create your own dancing crowd, create your own podium. Don't ask anybody for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you heard Mrs. Usha Vardhan Sharma over there. She created her own world. She created her own success. She faced her own failures जहाँ पे हुए, and उन्हीं से सीख के वो आगे बढ़ी हैं. And every time she tried to be a better version of herself rather than copy somebody and be a different version of what somebody else is. So क्या हमको सीखने को मिला यहाँ से? यहाँ से एक ही चीज हम ले जा सकते हैं कि अपने पे विश्वास करिए। आज जो हम हैं, कल इससे बेहतर बने। रिमेम्बर, हमने दूसरों से कॉम्पीट नहीं करना है। जो एक दूसरे से कॉम्पीट करते हैं, ये जो आपको अपना कंपटीशन समझते हैं, समझने दीजिए उनको, ठीक है? ये उनकी बदकिस्मती है। आप खुद से compete करिए, आपकी लड़ाई खुद से है, इतना याद रखिए। आपने कल आज से बेहतर होना है, और आज बीते हुए कल में जो आप थे उससे बेहतर होना है। कोई आपको फिंगर करता है, कोई आपको उंगली करता है, कोई आपको गलत बोलने पे उकसाता है, तो उसको सबसे अच्छी बात है जवाब ही देना बंद कर दीजिए। मुंह से कुछ गलत निकले, उस अपशब्द निकले, इससे अच्छा आप उसको बोले ही ना। और कुछ नहीं होता तो एक, जैसे उषा मैम ने करा है, एक डायरी मेंटेन करिए, वहां पे अपनी सारे फीलिंग्स लिख दीजिए। सिंपल इज दैट। आपको सब कुछ ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में पता लग जाएगा आपकी गलती कहाँ है। पढ़िए उसको दोबारा से, आपकी गलती कहाँ है, अगले की गलती कहाँ है, और एक रैशनल थिंकिंग से आप वहां से आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। So, with this, we finish today's session, and I hope you enjoyed our conversation with our RSVK awardee, RNTalks Swami Vivekananda Karmaveera Award 2023, Mrs. Usha Vardhan Sharma. एंड उनसे आपने काफ़ी सीखा होगा, और नहीं सीखा है तो ज़रूर ये इंटरव्यू देख लीजिए और सीख जाएंगे. टिल वी मीट अगेन, टाटा and bye-bye.